Folks, wake up. This isn't a drill. Things are going from bad to worse, and if you're not paying attention, you're in for a rude awakening. The U.S. is facing some of the most dangerous threats in years, and it's no longer just talk. It's action. There's real fear that parts of the U.S. could soon become a war zone. Tensions are escalating quickly with foreign powers, and attacks on American soil are no longer a distant nightmare. They're becoming a frightening reality. Government officials are warning of increased risks of attacks that could push the nation into conflict, and if things keep heating up, we could be on the brink of war. Let that sink in. War, right here in the U.S. People are scared, and they should be. Cities are ramping up security measures, military forces are on high alert, and yet it feels like we're one wrong move away from chaos. If this doesn't terrify you, it should. There's no telling how long we have before things spiral completely out of control. And with everything going on, here's something that might feel like a smaller worry, but it's still happening. 15 grocery products are disappearing next month. If your favorites are on the list, better stock up now because even the small comforts could be vanishing soon. Number 15. Wheat flour. Wheat flour is a crucial staple in many American households, used in everything from baking bread to making pasta. Unfortunately, wheat supplies are under threat due to unpredictable weather conditions in major wheat-producing regions like the U.S. Midwest, Russia, and Ukraine. Extended droughts, excessive rainfall, and even the conflict in Ukraine have disrupted wheat production and exports. John, a wheat farmer from Kansas, mentioned, "We've seen our yields drop, and with the weather patterns being so erratic, it's hard to plan for the next season." Additionally, rising input costs, such as fertilizers and fuel, are making it more expensive to grow and harvest wheat. Brands like Gold Medal and King Arthur flour might become harder to find on store shelves, or you could be paying much more for them. If you rely on flour for your day-to-day cooking, consider stockpiling some bags while they're still available and affordable. Flour can be stored for months if kept in a cool, dry place, and you'll be thankful you have it when prices surge or supply dwindles. Number 14. Peanut butter. Peanut butter has long been a favorite among Americans, whether for school lunches or as an ingredient in various recipes. However, peanut crops, primarily grown in southern U.S. states like Georgia, are facing challenges. Climate change has resulted in prolonged periods of drought, which severely impacts peanut yields. James, a peanut farmer from Georgia, stated, "We're seeing more pests and less water every year. It's a struggle to keep the crops healthy." Furthermore, increased demand for peanut butter, both domestically and internationally, is adding pressure to already strained supplies. Popular brands like Jif and Skippy could see disruptions in production or price hikes in the near future. Peanut butter is an excellent source of protein and healthy fats, making it a must-have in emergency situations or when grocery options are limited. Be sure to grab a few extra jars while they're still reasonably priced. You'll not only have a delicious spread, but also a valuable, long-lasting survival food in your pantry. Number 13. Rice. Rice is a critical component of many diets worldwide, and the U.S. is no exception. But even rice is feeling the effects of global supply issues. Major rice producers like India, China, and the U.S. are grappling with unpredictable weather conditions, such as flooding and droughts, which directly affect crop yields. Additionally, water shortages in regions like California, where rice is also grown, are forcing farmers to cut back on production. Raj, a rice farmer from India, noted, "Water scarcity is becoming a bigger issue every year, and we simply can't grow as much rice as we used to." With countries limiting rice exports to secure their own supplies, the global market is tightening, and prices are beginning to rise. Stocking up on rice varieties like jasmine, basmati, or long-grain rice from trusted brands like Lundberg or Mahatma would be a smart move. Rice is not only versatile, but also stores well for long periods, making it a reliable food source in times of scarcity. Number 12. Canned tuna. Canned tuna is another pantry staple that could soon become scarce. Tuna stocks, particularly in the Pacific Ocean, are being depleted due to overfishing and the impact of climate change on ocean temperatures. Rising sea temperatures have altered migratory patterns and reduced breeding rates for various tuna species, making it harder for fishermen to catch them. Noah, a tuna fisherman from Hawaii, explained, "We're catching fewer fish, and the ones we do catch are smaller. The ocean is changing." In addition to these environmental factors, supply chain disruptions have affected the availability of canned goods in general. Brands like Bumblebee and Starkist could experience supply shortages, or you may notice a significant jump in prices. Canned tuna is an excellent source of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, making it a key survival food. If you rely on tuna for quick meals or as part of your emergency food supply, it might be time to stock up before prices soar or shelves empty. Number 11. Potatoes. Potatoes, a versatile and essential food in many diets, are facing significant challenges due to climate change. Major potato-growing regions in the U.S., like Idaho and Washington, are experiencing hotter summers and less predictable rainfall, making it harder for farmers to produce high-quality crops. John, a potato farmer from Idaho, shared, "The heat is stressing the crops and we're struggling to maintain the yields we used to get." Additionally, issues with pests and diseases, exacerbated by the changing climate, are further complicating potato production. This could result in shortages of fresh potatoes, as well as processed potato products like frozen fries and potato chips. Brands such as Ore-Ida and Lay's might soon become more expensive or harder to find. Potatoes are an excellent source of carbohydrates and essential vitamins, making them an important survival food. If you can, consider buying and storing potatoes in a cool, dark place, or even dehydrating them for long-term storage. You'll be glad you did when supply chains are strained. Number 10. Oats. Oats have become a staple for many Americans, especially for those looking for a healthy, high-fiber breakfast option. Oatmeal, granola, and oat milk have seen a surge in demand over the past decade, but oat supplies are under threat. Major oat-producing regions like the U.S. Midwest and Canada have faced erratic weather conditions, including severe droughts and floods, which have significantly impacted oat crops. Jake, an oat farmer from North Dakota, explained, "The unpredictable weather is making it harder for us to plant and harvest on time. Some seasons, we barely break even." On top of that, global supply chain disruptions are slowing down the transportation of oats to processing plants. Brands like Quaker Oats and Bob's Red Mill could see supply shortages, leading to price increases. Oats are a fantastic survival food, given their long shelf life and nutritional value. So stocking up on them now is a wise decision. Whether you enjoy them as oatmeal or use them in baking, having a supply of oats on hand can provide a reliable source of nutrition. Number 9. Eggs. Eggs are a vital source of protein for many families in the U.S., but they may soon become harder to find or significantly more expensive. One of the key issues is the rising cost of feed for chickens, driven by disruptions in the corn and soy markets, which are major components of poultry feed. Additionally, outbreaks of avian flu have led to culling millions of chickens across the country, reducing egg production. Emma, a poultry farmer from Iowa, mentioned, "With feed prices skyrocketing and the constant threat of bird flu, keeping our flock healthy and productive has been a real challenge. As a result, egg prices have already started climbing, and many stores are reporting shortages. Stocking up on eggs may seem tricky because of their short shelf life, but powdered eggs from brands like Augustin Farms or shelf-stable liquid egg products can be a good alternative for your long-term food storage. These options ensure you have access to a reliable source of protein, even if fresh eggs are unavailable. Number 8. Pasta. Pasta is a pantry staple in many American households due to its affordability, versatility, and long shelf life. However, rising durum wheat prices, driven by droughts in key growing regions like North America and Europe, are threatening the pasta supply. Durum wheat, which is essential for making semolina flour, the base of most pasta, requires specific weather conditions to thrive. Unfortunately, climate change is making those conditions more unpredictable. Marco, a durum wheat farmer from Italy, said, "We've never seen weather like this. Our yields are shrinking, and it's becoming harder to meet global demand. As a result, popular pasta brands like Barilla and De Cecco could see their products become more expensive or less readily available. Stockpiling pasta is a great idea, as it's inexpensive and stores well for long periods. It's also a versatile food that can be paired with various sauces, meats, and vegetables, making it an essential item in times of scarcity." Number 7. Corn. Corn is one of the most important crops in the U.S., used not only for human consumption but also for animal feed, biofuels, and numerous processed foods. However, corn production is increasingly at risk due to changing weather patterns and extreme events like droughts and heat waves in key growing regions like the Midwest. Additionally, the rising cost of fertilizers and fuel is pushing up production costs for farmers. Mark, a corn farmer from Iowa, noted, "Our crops are suffering from the heat, and with costs rising, it's hard to keep things going." Corn-based products like cornmeal, tortillas, and even corn syrup, which is used in a vast array of processed foods, could see supply disruptions and price hikes. Stocking up on corn-based staples such as cornmeal, canned corn, or popcorn now could help you avoid shortages in the future. Corn is also an important food for long-term storage, especially in emergency situations where access to fresh food may be limited. Number 6. Sugar. Sugar is a staple that most of us don't think twice about, but the supply of sugar is under threat. Sugarcane, primarily grown in countries like Brazil and India, is facing challenges due to extreme weather events, including flooding and droughts. Additionally, the sugar beet crop, which is crucial to sugar production in the U.S., is suffering from similar weather-related challenges. Ethan, a sugar beet farmer from Michigan, shared, "It's been a tough few years. Between late frosts and unpredictable rain, we're not seeing the yields we used to. As a result, global sugar supplies are tightening, and prices are beginning to rise. Major sugar brands like Domino and C&H may face production shortages or price hikes. Sugar is a critical ingredient for baking, preserving, and even as a source of quick energy in emergency situations. Stocking up on sugar now could save you from future price spikes or shortages. Be sure to store it in an airtight container to keep it fresh for long periods." Number 5. Canned vegetables. Canned vegetables are often overlooked as an essential pantry item, but they are a reliable source of nutrition that can last for years. Unfortunately, canned vegetable supplies could soon be affected by several factors. Droughts and floods in major vegetable-producing states like California and Texas have reduced crop yields, making it harder for companies to source the fresh produce needed for canning. Laura, a vegetable farmer from California, shared, "We're seeing unpredictable weather every year, and it's getting harder to maintain consistent production. On top of that, increased aluminum prices due to global supply chain disruptions are making it more expensive to produce cans. This could mean shortages or price hikes for popular brands like Green Giant and Del Monte. Canned vegetables, such as green beans, corn, and peas, are vital because they provide essential vitamins and fiber when fresh produce is not available. If you haven't already, consider stockpiling a variety of canned vegetables for long-term storage. They can be a lifesaver during emergencies when fresh options are limited." Number 4. Dried beans are another food item that may soon become more difficult to find. Beans like black beans, pinto beans, and lentils are critical sources of protein and fiber, especially in times of food scarcity. However, many bean-producing regions in the U.S. and around the world are grappling with the effects of climate change. Severe droughts in areas like the Great Plains and parts of Latin America have dramatically decreased the harvests. Maria, a bean farmer from Colorado, noted, "We're planting the same amount, but the crops just aren't yielding like they used to because of the lack of rain. Additionally, global transportation delays and rising fuel costs are driving up the price of imported beans. Brands like Goya and Camellia may become harder to find on store shelves or could see significant price increases. Dried beans can last for years if stored properly in a cool, dry place. Consider buying in bulk now to secure this affordable and nutritious food staple before shortages hit. Number 3. Cooking oil. Cooking oil, especially vegetable and canola oil, is another grocery item that might be in short supply soon. The production of oil seeds like soybeans, sunflower seeds, and canola is facing challenges due to erratic weather patterns in regions like the US, Canada, and Europe. Paul, a soybean farmer from Iowa, said, "We've had a tough couple of seasons with too much rain one year and not enough the next. It's making it difficult to get consistent yields." Additionally, the global demand for cooking oils has surged, partially due to its use in biofuels, further tightening the supply. Brands like Wesson and Crisco might see their products become more expensive or harder to find in stores. Cooking oil is essential not only for frying and sautéing, but also for baking and food preservation. Stocking up on extra bottles of your preferred oil now ensures you have a long-lasting supply, especially since unopened oil can last for months when stored in a cool, dark place. Number 2. Salt. Salt might not be the first thing you think of when planning your pantry, but it's one of the most critical food preservation ingredients out there. Unfortunately, salt production is facing obstacles due to rising sea levels and extreme weather conditions in coastal areas where much of the world's sea salt is harvested. John, a salt producer from Louisiana, mentioned, "The coastal areas where we harvest salt are getting more difficult to manage, with storms and flooding wiping out parts of the production." Additionally, the increasing cost of mining and transportation is driving up prices for rock salt. Morton and Diamond Crystal, two major salt brands, could see shortages or price spikes in the near future. Salt is not just a flavor enhancer. It's crucial for preserving food and can also be used for various household needs. Stockpiling salt is a smart move, as it can last indefinitely if stored properly. It's an inexpensive way to ensure you can continue to season and preserve food during supply chain disruptions. Number 1. Bottled water. Bottled water might seem like a staple that will always be readily available, but it's facing a number of threats that could lead to shortages. Increased demand, coupled with droughts and over-extraction of groundwater in key regions, is putting a strain on water sources. Kate, a water resource manager from California, explained, "We're using more water than we can sustainably extract in many regions, and that's affecting the availability of bottled water." Additionally, the rising cost of plastic and transportation is making it more expensive to bottle and distribute water. Brands like Poland Spring, Dasani, and Nestle Pure Life could become harder to find or see price hikes. Having a reliable source of clean drinking water is essential for survival, especially during emergencies. Stocking up on bottled water is a no-brainer, but consider also investing in water purification tablets or filters to ensure you have access to clean water even if bottled supplies run out. A few extra cases of water now could make all the difference later. Thank you for watching.